Hi. Okay. Yes, I believe it's on. So today I'm going to be talking about. Why do I need to announce what I'm going to be talking about? Okay. Long story short, racism. I'm just gonna put this out there, okay? Everyone's like, oh my God, you can't. You need to recognize that racism is still a thing. Yes, I recognize that racism is still a thing. Obviously, I have to, considering the fact that I'm a black woman. But at the same time as I recognize it, I understand that that shouldn't dictate your life unless you feel like that's your purpose to be doing. So if you feel like that's what you're supposed to be fighting for, then yes, definitely it's important. But for the people who are tired of where they are, for the people who are out there gangbanging, their friends have been shot, for the people whose mothers, daughters, grandmothers have been hurt from gang violence or things that have to do with systemic oppression, the only thing I have to say about that is that you cannot perpetuate a stereotype. Meaning that if somebody says that you are a thug or you are this or that, you don't pivot that stereotype. You prove them wrong. You prove that you are not that way. And if you're going to be a thug, you should be the best fucking thug there is. What I mean is, if you are going to gangbang, you should be distributing and moving mad shit. And you should not only be working with these hood dudes, you need to be working with different states and different big heads in different places. Like if you're going to be doing that, you better go the fuck all in. But don't perpetuate stereotypes. Definitely. One thing that I have noticed about this reality is that your belief systems mold this reality. They literally mold it. That is something huge a lot of people need to see and understand, because as soon as you understand that you've been living in a fear-based system, or as soon as you understand that you're not your best friend inside of your head but you're your enemy inside of your head, as soon as you get that, you start to change it, then you manipulate your life, it starts to swerve and turn into something way better than it is now. Why did I say that? Going back to racism once again. Why do you think the problem is constantly being perpetuated and shoved in our faces? It's constantly being perpetuated and shoved in our faces because it keeps people at a very low vibration. It keeps people at a place where they're constantly thinking about it. Morgan Freeman said that racism doesn't exist. Racism does exist to a certain degree. I completely disagree with that. But at the same time, I believe it's something we should not give our attention to. As a whole, we got to stop giving our attention to that. So many people are so focused on the whole racism movement, but something they're not focused on our education. They're not focused on developing your mind outside of the education a school is going to give you. I mean, developing your mind into a more spiritual aspect. And all spiritual means is getting more into yourself. But a lot of people are so slave traits in discipline. A lot of discipline still has a lot of slave trait like techniques. Whooping your kids, I'm sorry, like it's outdated. We got to stop whooping our kids because they don't deserve that shit, man. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be whooped because they can't live up to your standard of who they should be and how they should behave. Like, you are the example. You set the example for your kids. So if your kid's being bad, that's an example that you set. Um, that's all I have to say on that. I believe we need to stay away from all that shit. I believe the New Age movement, because there's always a New Age movement. Let's make this New Age movement about elevating our minds, about showing our shadow side and not having to be perfect for anybody, about loving ourselves and getting our mind right, about creating good habits, which is not going to happen in a day. But this is the stuff we need to be working on. We need to stop focusing on negativity. We need to stop focusing on what the news is perpetuating for you to listen to so that you can be a program like every fucking body else out there. And we need to elevate. My name is Destiny Lene Johnson, and I have a message. I have a couple of messages, and I'm about to start spewing. Peace.